Kids Day we started 2007 in Israel, initiative of a businesswoman and philanthropist, Sherry Harrison. And the idea was that we want that each person will do good. So if we want that, what we did is initiated a day that we're celebrating doing good, but for the whole year. Creating awareness and energy that each person can do good. Each person can find a way that he can impact his environment, his neighborhood, his community, his country, and the world to do good.
I'm delighted to extend a warm welcome to each one of you this evening to this beautiful country called Kenya. The idea of dedicating Good Deeds Day reminds us of our inherent capacity to create positive change. I hereby humbly declare the Africa Regional Volunteering Conference 2023 officially opened.
We have Africa in this room, and Africa has the best potential to offer on the promise of volunteerism as a whole. And that passion is what volunteerism is built on. The Red Cross Red Crescent movement globally has 16 million volunteers. The time they put into the work of saving lives, of developing their communities, without the expectation for pay, is the biggest non-compensated asset any community has. And this group here in front of you, the spirit they represent, the people they represent, the organizations they represent, that is the future of Africa.
Africa will be driven forward by the youth, and that's my expectation. I'm kind of retired, but not for volunteerism.
The reason as to why there was need to bring the volunteer organizations together was so that we make the space for volunteering conducive for volunteers first. And then second, conducive for communities where volunteers render their services. And thirdly, so that organizations that engage volunteers are able to engage them in a certain way that is credible, a certain way that respects the dignity of volunteers and also the communities where such organizations are embedded.
In one sentence, what would you say inclusion means to you?
Just like I said in my presentation earlier, inclusion is involvement.
Inclusion for me means removing barriers. Inclusion means leaving no one behind.
I'm working with the youth. For them, they should also know that volunteerism can also be a pathway for them to youth employment.
How do we do this is we work with the private sector, or we partner private sector organizations to create these job opportunities for the youth.
We have a program which we call the Toyota Service Technician for the 21st Century, and we support young people in the Jua Kali sector. One of the things that is very key for us is to ensure that when we impart skills, we give them employability skills, and also we give them an opportunity to be able to be employed.
I think creativity in volunteering is a key point, because I think today people are more involved in themselves. They're busy. Doesn't matter if it's real busy or busy on their phone.
What platform were you using to volunteer?
Thank you, George.
Work,
This work was made easier by the new technology that we have. I was using my Facebook. There was Instagram, YouTube, and also Twitter. Through that platform, we managed to reach so many children in our nation. The highest watched video is at 18 million now.
Wow.
When I was in first year, 1.2, I went online and watched his mathematics videos. So when I went back to school, I got A's, 2 A's.
What is your understanding of building resilience?
As Kenya Red Cross, we are working closely with the communities. We've installed units in about, I think, 7 schools, reaching about 8,000 students.
Here in Kenya, I'm sure you know there was a center that United Nations established in response to COVID-19 because at that time we needed facility to help in terms of the patients who were admitted.
We try to build up some clubs, some volunteering clubs within the communities.
So when we talk about data-driven approaches dependent on the solution, of course we want to also be able to generate evidence and insight from all of these activities that we're doing. Not just for the organizations that are implementing or the donors, but also in service of our communities.
My name is Mary Mlambo. I'm from South Africa. Going forward, what is important is for us to put into action those engagements, go back, implement, and contribute to making our world a better place for everybody.
I'm called Reste Mtawe from Uganda, Change African Child International.
My name is Waruka Alex.
I'm called Nene Ikoy. I'm from Cameroon.
Je suis Joël Alidim, qui est à Madagascar.
Je suis venu du Burkina Faso.
Je m'appelle Colombe Doibé, je viens du Bénin.
My name is Lennox Omondi, the founder and the Chief Executive Officer at Ecobana Limited. Ecobana is a social enterprise that manufactures biodegradable sanitary towels using banana fibers.
So thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Malik. At least now we know in Kenya the contribution to the GDP is about 5%. Let's switch gears a bit and look at just the issues of standards. What is this global standards that we've been hearing for the last 3 days?
These organizations came together and agreed that there is a need to develop standards that everyone can use, not just to ensure that there is volunteering, but impactful volunteering, and it translates to changes in life of people.
We are in the process of reviewing the policy. The rationale for developing this policy was to provide for effective coordination of volunteerism.
I'm Andrew Skogi, UNV Country Coordinator for Kenya. So there is a gap. We need to bridge that gap, interact more with partners to see how we can leverage volunteerism in our different areas and to touch the community and making sure that we leave no one behind.
This conference has brought together various countries in Africa. There is actually a 3rd regional conference on volunteerism. As a ministry, I want to say we are going to support this issue of volunteerism. Currently, we are working on a policy that was done in 2016. We are trying to review the policy on volunteerism. We'll also have a bill on volunteerism that we'll bring to Parliament so that we can ensure we do good when we have a day where we do good across Kenya.
All of these people came together with one mission. How do we do more good? How do we promote more volunteering? And what we learned here, that it's not always easy to do the partnership. It's not always easy to find what's our mutual ground. But when we find it, and we can find it, we can prosper.
On behalf of my French-speaking countries, GDD French-speaking country leaders, I would like to thank Kenya for the warm welcome that you give us, and also for all the gifts, all what you have done to facilitate our stay here. I would like to thank you for that.
We have the strength to advance volunteering and doing good. We have the tools, we have great people. I think this conference showed great partnerships from the government sector, from the business sector, and from the NGO sector. So we have the strength, and we just have to do it.
Thank you to all our partners, both local and international. And thank you to our Good Deeds Day international partner. Thanks to all our volunteers. It has been an amazing experience.